Hey everybody, welcome back to Zion Made. I just want to tell you today, I am at a spot, I want you to actually see this. It is absolutely gorgeous. We named our YouTube channel Zion Made because this is what is made in Zion. This is spectacular. It's a place you gotta come. As I got out of my car, there was this smell. I always study my scriptures, right? I tell you that I'm religious and I like to study. And this week I was reading, one of the things I was talking about, there are only 5 senses, there's 6 senses. And then the 6th one's kind of the spirit that allows you to be closer to God. And I come here and I feel closer to God. And some of the other senses that go along with that is sight. And I wanted you to see what I'm seeing. And the other one, smell. I got here and I noticed right off the smell of this place that I'm gonna show you. And it smelled absolutely amazing. So I was like, the senses being one of the things I was studying this week, it really hit me. This is a place you need to come because it is gorgeous and it smells really, really good. And at the same time, you'll be in nature where you can be closer to God and have an awesome experience. I got an adventure to take you on. One other quick update. You haven't heard, we saw a bobcat in my backyard. I have not seen it since. Wanted to give you that update. But if you haven't seen that video, you need to go see it. It has been crazy. A creature like that in my backyard. I decided I want to see it again, although I really don't. But if you haven't seen that video, you got to go watch it. I want to go introduce you to some amazing people that I've met and this amazing place that we're at. Why don't you come with me? All right, everybody. So now we're at the entrance of one of my favorite restaurants here at Zion, and it's called, I'm not going to tell you, you're going to get to know that in just a minute here. But why don't you come with me? Let's go to the front door and let's meet the people. One of the things that I've learned about this amazing restaurant is everything that they make is used with natural ingredients. So I'm saying way too much already, right? Let's go meet them and let them share with us really what this is all about. All right, so we've made it to the entrance. Guess who I have found? I have found General Manager. Tom, what's your title?
I'm one of the owners here.
One of the owners, all right? So we've got one of the owners and the General Manager. We're kind of meeting for the first time. I don't know a lot about you, only that you have amazing food, right?
Yes, we
So
do.
this is Ashley again and Tom. I got one quick question. Why did you call it Wild Thyme Cafe? No, it's going to be a Wild Thyme.
It's always a wild
It's
time.
spelled T-H-Y-M-E. Okay,
Yeah.
there's probably something that's pretty cool about why you named it that way. Why did you name it the Wild Thyme
Yeah,
Cafe?
so our original restaurant is in Kanab, as you know. It's been open for about 7 years. My aunt's the original creator of Wild Thyme. Well, she decided to name it that because we love homegrown, fresh ingredients. We have a garden there that we do most of our own produce from, and the property is full of wild thyme.
I bet you most of us don't even know what that means.
I
You
didn't
don't
know
have
what it
McDonald's.
means.
I was gonna say, you don't have McDonald's. It's not like going through the drive-through and
No fryers in here.
First thing we did when we took over this place, took the fryers out. We want it fresh and we want it good.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
love
that is.
homegrown ingredients. We love fresh ingredients. Nothing's frozen. Everything's made from scratch.
wow. When I drove up here, okay, I just told the audience, I stepped out of the car, it was, the first thing was the smell. This isn't like going to a fast food place sometimes and you get there and there's that grease trap that gives off that negative smell. It was a pleasant, yummy, I want to be hungry smell.
Well, that's what this property is all about. There's a feeling you walk on. It's more than just the senses. There's just something here.
We started with the property in Kanab. She was running it. I ended up investing in buying it. I was working with the owner of this property and he just mentioned, hey, I love your place in Kanab. Why don't we do something like that in Springdale? I didn't know you had a restaurant. So he brought me here. And the moment I stepped on here and looked at the building, looked at the sites, and then just felt good. And you're just like, this is something amazing. How can we not do this?
So I'm just going to say this because I try to be real. There was a reason that I had that little scripture study time this week and I had that part of the success. Every time I come to Zion's, I can feel nature. I can feel what I think God created the earth for. There's a special feeling here. People, you need to come here when you come to Zion's. You got to come feel it. I can't describe it to you other than there's a feeling here that just, and a smell that is amazing.
Let's walk the property and we'll explain to you why this piece of property is so amazing.
And how much property do you have here?
So we're leasing the property, but this property extends several miles for a total of about 2,200 acres.
200 acres, all right. And how many square feet is that? I know, 4560 times 42,000.
2,200.
All right, do that. I want everyone to do that. 43,560. That's what's in an acre. That's how many square feet's an acre. Figure out how many square feet is here with 22,000 acres. 2,200 acres, sorry. If you're an overachiever, you can do 22,000.
This property was assembled a long time ago by a guy by the name of Jim Trees. You know, that was his last name, but that's what inspired him to do these apple orchards that you see around here and all these beautiful trees. And when he passed away, Paul Allen's the one who purchased this property. If you don't know who Paul Allen is, he was co-founder of Microsoft with Bill Gates.
Wow.
And so he had this property for quite a while. He was kind of a good guy, didn't like a lot of people here. Nobody's really got to experience this property.
I got an idea. I don't want to interrupt you, but let's jump over this. I know there's a gate, but I want to have a real experience here. Ashley, you gonna come with us? You want to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna come, but not on camera.
She falls, we won't show you. All right, you made it. Awesome.
Good job.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you to climb over the fence. So Paul Allen, you were telling us about Paul.
So Paul Allen is co-founder of Microsoft with Bill Gates.
Wow.
He came out and visited this property once, bought it sight unseen because of how beautiful it was, how kind of spiritual the property was, but nobody ever really got to experience it. Then he built this restaurant, just his little piece of heaven to allow people to experience it, but he passed away about 6 months before the restaurant was finished. They opened it in his honor for one season and then it closed. The current owner had bought it from him, but he didn't want to just let anybody in. He loved our restaurant in Kanab. I was meeting with him on a project and he goes, I have this restaurant that I'd love you to run in Springdale. I said, you don't have a restaurant in Springdale? He said, let's go look at it. I've driven past this place forever. My wife and I talk about it all the time.
Every time I've driven this direction, I've noticed the trees and the
100%.
little restaurant. I didn't even know what it totally was.
And I didn't either. When we walked on this place, I said, how could I not? He says, I know what you do. I know what your restaurant is. You're the first person that I will let do a restaurant here.
Guy is established with Bill Gates, right? You know he's had success in life. That's going to already say, you know, if he trusts you, that you've got something special.
So right over here.
Oh my gosh! There's a cat over there! It's not a bobcat. Ha look at that cat over there. It's a little excavator. Oh, I'm so funny. Right.
It's not your bobcat.
It's not like, I know.
You should be scared of cats, you know.
All right, so anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Paul Allen originally planted this orchard. The trees around this area, the cliffs, the view of Zion just make this such a spectacular place.
All right, I'm seeing some green apples over here.
Yep.
All right. Look at that. My kids and my wife, that's their favorite. Add salt to the green apple. They'll eat those all day long. I'm not a big apple fan, but they
They'll
love
love
it.
our Wild Thyme salad. Our Wild Thyme salad's fantastic. It's got fresh apples on it, and then our fresh homemade dressing with it. Also, we have a pork chop that we created with an apple chutney.
Yum.
That's amazing, and we did it because of the apple orchard.
Yeah.
In Kanab, we actually have a garden that we grow out back, and Sasha, Tom's wife, actually does that and does a beautiful job. We love it. We love the fresh ingredients. There's nothing like picking a fresh tomato off of the vine and eating it right there. Half the time I eat most of them before they make it to the plate. But
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's the best part of it.
Exactly.
Make sure-
So in the future, we're hoping we'll have a garden here. Maybe next year is what we're hoping, so that we can use those fresh ingredients. For now, we do have some pots up by the restaurant where we grow wild thyme, basil, mint,
That's
lavender,
the time, right? Okay.
all of it. And we use all of those ingredients in our dishes, from homemade dressings, salad, to drinks. We have a wonderful lavender lemonade
I've never heard of
that
that.
we infuse lavender into a
You'll get
simple
to try
syrup.
it. You'll love it.
Into a
All right.
simple syrup. It's fantastic.
That is awesome.
Our farm.
Our
to
farm
your table.
to your table.
So we're very big about that, making sure that we've got good ingredients. Can't get any fresher from picked outside to brought inside and on your plate.
So I'm going to guess that most of our audience are people that probably live here local, number one, or number two. They're people that are health conscious, that want to be healthy. That's what your attraction is, I guess, right?
Yes.
What you're trying to do.
Absolutely. We have all sorts of food, all different varieties. Vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free. But then we of course also have fantastic burgers, steaks.
How far are you outside the park?
We're about 2.5 miles.
It's had a long day. I just want to go relax. This is the place to come.
You step onto our property and it's quiet. You just get to sit out on the table and enjoy the rocks and the scenery, especially after a day of hiking.
And you'll see as you walk through this that you can come sit out on the grass, outside under the trees. We've got a nice, beautiful covered patio.
I've also learned as I've started going more and more to the park, there's a lot of congestion. There's not a ton of parking. You guys allow people to come here and park.
Yeah, so we have a 2-hour maximum parking, but also the shuttle is just right up the road. And actually, when it gets really busy, cars can park along the road and walk right to that shuttle.
But you've been asking us a lot of questions. Can I ask you one? Are
Absolutely.
you ready to go eat?
Can I bring my 16 kids and my wife?
Absolutely.
Yes, you
All
bet.
right. It's a challenge for us because can I get a table? Well, how many's in your party?
Absolutely.
I have 16 kids and I've got my wife, and they all like a variety of food. You take reservations, or what's that?
We
like?
absolutely do. Yes, we have an online wait system that you can join. Also, groups of 6 or more can get a table. Just call in and we'll get you on our wait list.
Hey, so you, Tom, you were just saying, question is, you ready to eat? I'm ready to eat.
All right, so here we have our wild thyme salad made with our house-made white balsamic. It's made with thyme and lavender. Also, we've got the fresh apples on there, blue cheese, cranberries, and nuts. And then, of course, we got our famous pork chop here, Special Two Trees Ranch. It's not in Kanab. They want it so bad they can't have it. That is an apple chutney on top. It's got bacon, peppers, it's fantastic. And then this here is our signature dish, the pistachio chicken. This is our most popular dish in Canada.
I'm excited. So how am I going to get quiet every single one of them?
We're going to have to do a rotation. Yeah. We need a turntable.
We'll get some extra plates.
Yes, of course.
Sit down here. It was actually amazing right here. I'm just looking around at all these different things we could talk about, right?
But wait.
Yeah.
You have 16 kids.
I have 16 kids. We have adopted 9, and then together we have 7. We have another channel that everyone can go to, our Not Enough Nelson channel, that talks about
kids love
all my kids and everything. What a world it is to be able to have so many kids, the ups, the downs, the challenges, everything. And that's what I want to ask you guys about. Hang on, I want to drink. When we do these videos with people, I want it to be real. I want people to know about your background, your history, what you've been through to really get here, and not hear from me, but let's hear from you.
I was raised in Kanab. I grew up there, went to college. I'm an engineer by trade. And I was working at an engineering company there, and then by happenstance, all of a sudden I had to run it. So I had to learn very quickly.
The best learning experience. I had a similar experience with my dad. When you get thrown into something and you got to learn it, your own money's on the line, and all these real life experiences, and real life learning.
And it was right at the start of the recession.
Okay.
So I had to pick up this
2005. Then they're done that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell my story, but that's exactly very similar.
Had to run a company, right?
Yep.
Pick it up at the beginning of the recession, figure out how to make it work. As we worked hard, we would do 120-hour weeks every week.
Sacrifice. I had weekends. I didn't even get. We got weeks without paychecks because what do? You got to make it work, right?
Well, and I was the one. It wasn't my company at the time, but I was running it. But there were times I went a month, 2 months without a paycheck. So I made sure my guys got paid. Made sure they had hours, and I learned that it's about your team, not about the leadership.
So how do those guys react to you now? If you ask them if they need something?
100% they'll walk through heaven and earth.
That's right. I have a very similar story with that, with my background too.
And that's what I've learned, is it's about the people. And my daughter, she was in high school, started working at Wild Thyme, bussing tables, being a host, and we really got to know Ashley and her family. She was a manager at the time.
My aunt was the original owner of Wild Thyme. I worked for government for 9 years. I worked in prevention. I did drug and alcohol prevention and suicide prevention. And I took a leap of faith. I left my career and started to manage the restaurant.
And I learned who Ashley and her husband was, because her husband is executive chef too. And I learned who they are.
He's the chef.
She cooks very well. Sorry.
I
She created all the desserts and everything.
I do a lot of desserts. My aunt was actually the original who created the dessert family recipes. My grandpa, we have his key lime pie recipe.
Wow.
It's very dear to my heart. Yeah. And so I actually did the desserts for a long time as well.
Her aunt was having some health problems and wanted to get out of the restaurant. And Ashley had actually come to me and said, will you buy the restaurant? And I talked to my wife and I said, let's get back in the restaurant business. And she said, I'll kill you if you didn't. Yeah. We got him in touch with her aunt, in touch with some people that could do it. But it never could materialize. They had a deal.
6 cents wasn't quite.
Yep.
It wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, 6 months goes by, and it ended up that the person that they had worked to deal with couldn't get financing. Her aunt was like, I'm done. I'm going to sell to somebody from out of town. And Ashley's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Our job's a family job because it's a family-run restaurant.
It's a family-run restaurant. My entire family works for me.
Yeah.
When you've got something like you're saying you created that's been family done, You put the hours, the sweat. It's not like another job. Yeah,
Everybody would have been out. My husband's the chef. My brother's one of our chefs. My young brother was in training. My mother works for me. My father works for me. All of them. This is a family thing.
Sold in construction too, and all the guys that worked with, a lot of them didn't have their business licenses at first, and they were, and they also, and I created this same relationship. Like, you guys are my family. Let me help you learn how to get a business license. What you need to do is to set you up for success, but do it the right way. And it's the same thing. So all these guys, I can say, I did actually yesterday. I said, I forgot to do one of the things I needed to have tiled for a mop closet, and I called the guy, and I'm like, I know you got lots going on. I will be there tonight. I will do whatever you need. I won't go to bed until you have what you need. And he was there. So I have that same, again, that's what I'm all about. It's not about money. It's about the relationships that you create. The money will come and you'll be taken care of. But when you're in trouble, then you've got all these people.
When you're in trouble, you call Tom.
Oh, there we go. Well, Tom, me and you are going to talk a lot more, okay?
And that's actually what she did. Her and my daughter were talking. My daughter called me and says, can you come down and meet me? And I came down, and my wife's like, I don't want to be interrupted. I came down and probably sat with you for about an hour or so. And I just had this different feeling that this is the right thing to do now. And I came home and told my wife, I said, I think we need to do this. So the owner gave me 3 days to put together a deal.
There's a lot of things that go into place when you're buying a restaurant. It takes time. The first deal that was supposed to go through was about 6 months in. Tom was leaving for vacation on Friday. We met on a Monday. Within 4 days, everything that needed to happen, impossible things that needed to happen, fell right, just one right after another, right into place.
We signed on the Friday, our bags were packed in the car, and we hopped in the car, had lunch, and left.
But the most amazing thing happened before they left, and this is my favorite part of the story.
Are you going to cry?
Probably.
That's all right. That's what
You know, leaving my career and coming here, it was a big step. But I knew I was in the right place. And then when Tom decided to buy, I knew I was in a better place. The morning that they signed, they came to the restaurant and they met with my husband and I. He said, okay, I found another partner, you know, a couple partners that I'd like to bring in. And I said, absolutely, because if you trust them, I trust them. And he said, no, it's you and your husband.
Wow.
It was a lot like this emotion right now, but a lot more tears because of the effort that we could put in and the things that we had done to get to this point in our lives. My husband's been cooking for a long time. Had all just come to fruition. Everything that we had worked so hard for in our life.
So if
paid off in that
we all
moment.
took our talents and our abilities in life, we weren't so worried about the almighty dollar. How would life be? And that's what this is all about, right?
And his words were, we can't do it without you. And I looked at him and I said, well, I can't do it without you.
Right.
Now we're on our second location.
Now we're on our second one. And I have to brag about Tom and his wife and Josh and Josh, our other owner, and his wife. They are the most amazing, humble, wonderful people. I can't tell you the number of times that an employee or even us, my own family, has had or needed something, and without asking, they have done it.
Sure.
Not because they felt obligated because we work for them or anything. It's just the things that they have done. We've been through a lot as a family since the restaurant opened. I lost a brother-in-law to suicide. Tom's wife got cancer. And together as a family, we are a family. And together as a family, we have come a long, long way together.
Without the restaurant and the people there and the support, a year and a half going through cancer treatment with my wife would have been unbearable.
Yeah.
But between my engineering company and these guys, they supported me every step of the way for a year and a half and made it to where it works.
Yeah.
And made it to where I could be home and take care of my wife because I was her caregiver. And without these guys, I couldn't do that.
Just the support from each other, and I hope that that's what we do for our employees as well. We employ a lot of people that are in recovery, that are working hard. We deal with mental illness every day. We have a thing called Mama Ash Therapy Time.
Yes.
In the office quite often, but I love that.
My daughter is a big protector of Mama Ash Therapy Time.
But that's what we do here. We're a family. We support each other. We support our employees. They don't have housing. Tom finds housing. Whatever they need, they know that this is a safe space for them.
That is why we started this channel and trying to do this. Come to Zion. But to me, it's like, come meet the people in Zion. Let's hear their stories. And you got similar stories. And so thank you for sharing that with us. That's really why we're trying to do this. So.